Scoring a goal directly after a pass is one of the most common and most promising ones. It's easy to show goals on YouTube. There's talented players, there's content creators, and there's all sorts of things that make you look good. You know, before any tutorials came anywhere near my eFootball career, I'd mastered my craft. You'll see a side to me across this class that I don't think has ever been shown before. To score goals, you first need to understand what shots there are existing. In-game with the strong foot, A. short post or B. long post, and turn upwards. Once he has done this, he can finish with a straight shot into the short post. Everything that I've learned, understood, stolen, perfected is laid bare across this masterclass for the first time ever. And you will learn how to score those goals from the start to finish. I've just spent the last 20 years grinding and improving to bring on the pitch what I'm about to show you. And watch, but watch carefully. I'm Mednasah, and this is my masterclass. No matter if you are playing on mobile or on consoles, throughout this video I will explain you how I cracked down the code of scoring goals in eFootball. Which player attributes play the most important role? What are the must-have player skills to maximize the scoring chance? And most importantly, I'll show you how to use specific attacking patterns to break through the opponent's defense time and time again and score tons of goals. Hit the like button and subscribe to my channel to lift up your own gameplay and to be ahead of the others. There are three basic attributes that are responsible for scoring a goal. First, obvious but essential, finishing indicates the player's shooting accuracy. Second, curl indicates how much curl the player can put on the ball. This player stat is probably the most common type of shooting goals in the eFootball gameplay. 3. Kicking power indicates how much power the player can generate when kicking the ball. For both straight and curl kicks, it is very important for the player to have a high kicking power value. It is all the more influential when it comes to long-range kicks. Next part, player skills. Before we move on to the most common mistakes, in-game scenarios and attacking patterns, it is imperative to talk about the required player skills and their effects on the pitch. We are starting with the first time shot. Next to the previously mentioned curled shots, scoring a goal directly after a pass is one of the most common and most promising ones. In order for this type of goal to succeed, or at least increase the probability of scoring, the player must be equipped with the first time shot skill. The official definition for this skill is this: improves technique and precision when taking first time shots. This skill has an impact from a distance, from close ranges, and also from unusual positions. The next skill is often underestimated and misinterpreted in the community. However, it is one of the most important cards for a striker. I'm talking about acrobatic finishing. Acrobatic finishing enables players to find the finish even from awkward positions or when off balance. Basically, this skill is not just about scoring goals with a bicycle kick or with a volley. The last section of this definition is at least as important: when off balance. This is because the player never loses accuracy in his finishing, not even when he gets into duels or loses his balance. Breaking down the last player skill now, so you can go well prepared into the main part of this masterclass. It is the third most important skill, especially for wingers with a sensational scoring instinct. The long-range curler enables players to hit a curling controlled shot with high accuracy. When searching through my entire video archive for goals and how they are scored, the importance of the skill has repeatedly caught my eye. Statistically, I score more than half of my goals with a curl, be it from different positions or distances, but I'll explain that in more detail in a moment. There are other important skills that I'll cover in the rest of this video. We now have our foundation of player stats and player skills to start the game with. The title is called Scoring Goals, and that's where the focus lies. To score goals, you first need to understand what shots there are existing, how they work, and when to use them. That's where we start now. Straight shots. Everyone knows the basic straight shots. Just hit the shoot button. It is the easiest shot to execute. But that doesn't mean that it's not effective.
Oh, fabulous play. Oh, my word.
Curled shots, or how they are called in-game, controlled shots. To use the curled shot, you have to press the special controls button and the shoot button simultaneously. I'll show you why this shot is a guaranteed goal at the right angles very soon. The chip shot is one of Konami's most frequently modified shot style. Sometimes it is extremely effective and then suddenly unusable again with the next patch. Nevertheless, it is important to have this shot in your own toolbox. The player skill chip shot control also exists to enhance the effect. To perform this shot, you have to press the cursor change button and the shot button simultaneously. Long-range shot types. The intention behind my videos is to increase your skills as much as possible and as quickly as possible. My way of working is based on probabilities of success. For this reason, I will not break down the long-range shot category in detail. This type of shot can lead to success, but the probability of success is significantly lower compared to the previously mentioned shot types. Long-range shots largely depend on the associated player skills, especially in combination with the stunning shot function. You can score goals in certain positions on the pitch. There is the dipping shot, which can be performed by filling the shot bar between 20 to 50%. The knuckle shot requires 50 to 65%. For the rising shot, you need to press the shot button between 65 up to 95%. Those shot types are only triggered in-game with the strong foot or when the weak foot accuracy is very high. But don't rely on distant shots. I'll show you now how to put the ball into the net with safety and without having to hope for it. With a sound knowledge of skills and shot types, the fun now really begins. Because what really matters is using these weapons correctly and purposefully on the pitch. I will now use in-game examples to explain to you exactly in which situations you have to use which exact shot type, when to aim for the short post and when to aim for the long post, how to behave correctly in a one-on-one with the opposing goalkeeper, and finally, the most valuable section: which attacking patterns you can use to score goals successfully. In other words, how to form triangles when in possession of the ball and how to gain an enormous advantage by playing equal numbers or even outnumbering the opponent, as this leads to an extremely large number of scoring opportunities. So enough talk, let's go on to the pitch now. In most games, I see opponents miss a lot of scoring chances because they choose the wrong shot type or the wrong post. I will now show you step by step in which positions and situations you choose the right shot and the right post. We are beginning with the straight shot into the long post. The straight shot is particularly useful at high speed and with little space. You can see exactly that in the first scenario. Romario is in full sprint and is attacked by the opposing defender. With a quick turn upwards, I managed to get him into a shooting position. Now you have to consider two aspects. One, the goalkeeper. He is relatively far down, which leaves the top long corner very wide open. Two, the defender, positioned in front of Romario. He plays a major role in our decision on which shot we are taking. As he is very close to us, he is very likely to block a curled shot. Curled shots take longer to execute, as the lag animation of the shot takes longer than with a straight shot. The more time we give the opponent, the better he can get in the way of our shot. So I opt for the straight shot to the long post. To get the ball behind the net, you just have to choose the right dosage. At the box, here at around 70 meters, 50 to 70% is always a good solution at this spot. With less power, the ball will probably be saved by the goalkeeper. With more power, the ball will probably fly over the goal. Another big advantage of this shot is that you can use it from various angles, be it running horizontally towards the opposing goalkeeper in a diagonal run from a short or long distance, or even vertically running in a 90-degree movement. Always keep an eye on the distance between you and the goalkeeper. If it is big enough, the long corner of the goal is open. Take advantage of it and hammer the ball in. How about the straight shot into the short post? The input of the shot remains the same, only now we aim for the short post. There are two cases here. In the first case, we want to catch the goalkeeper on the wrong foot. This means he moves in one direction, but we shoot in the other. The second case is that the goalkeeper was on one side and is now trying to close down the other short side with lateral steps. With this variant, it is therefore mandatory to keep an eye on the opposing goalkeeper. Where is he positioned and where is he moving to? In my in-game examples, you can see that the most of the goals are scored at full speed, as these factors, goalkeeper and full sprint, are all about frames and milliseconds. You have to be very quick to react. When we are performing the shot, our player forms a straight line between body, ball and short post when shooting. You have to take the speed with you, both when sprinting and when receiving the ball, and then finish with 20 to 50% shooting power. The difference to the straight shot is that diagonal or vertical shots are rather rare in this variant. Highly likely one of my most favorite shots, curled shots. Probably the most effective and most promising variant to score goals in eFootball is to use the curled shots. Once you've mastered it, you won't suffer from scoring no goals anymore. I will now give you the important pillars for the successful use of curled shots. One of those pillars is, as mentioned at the beginning, a high curl value and of course the player skill, long range curler. But to become a goal machine, you need way more than just players with good attributes and skills. The person behind the controller must know exactly what he is doing, and we'll make sure of that now. Firstly, let's focus on the shooting angle. You have the best options if you execute the curled shot from a diagonal position or aim vertically at a 90-degree angle into the long corner. As a general rule, the ball should almost exclusively be placed in the long post for this shot. Again, I have already mentioned that the shot animation for the curled shot takes longer, as the shot is more accurate than a normal straight shot. For this reason, you must always create some space before you shoot so that no opposing player can block the ball. If you are in such a good position, you are very likely to score. Even with players who are not known for their shooting accurately, like Vieira at the 5-yard box in my example, or even Lothar Matthäus with his weak left foot, it is possible to score goals with this kind of shot. It is also possible to execute the curled shot with the outside of the foot too, but for this, the player requires the player skill outside curler. Enables players to shoot and pass using the outside of the boot even at long distances. This form of curled shot is also very effective, especially if the weak foot accuracy of the player is low. I promised you that this masterclass would be exclusively about scoring goals. Nevertheless, I would like to share a short, effective dribbling trick with you. To do this, release all the buttons in the box just before receiving the ball and move the left stick in the opposite direction or directly in a vertical direction, up or down. This movement will trick your opponent and give you plenty of space for the shot, which you obviously need. To show you how simple this trick is, I'll show you a short live tutorial in the training mode now. So when we are going for a through pass, you release every button and just press the left stick. I will do it once again now when we are going to the back, like this. And now let's play a through pass. You release everything and then you go to the top side in this case. In the other side, it's of course to the bottom. But this is how you can easily fool your opponent. If you also master the double touch, it will be very uncomfortable for your opponent, but that's not what this video is about. I'm using the following scene as a comparison. I'll show you what role the positioning of your own player and that of the opposing goalkeeper plays in the choice of your shot. For the straight shot, I start by running down the center from the left side. When the shot is taken, a defender is directly in front of me. However, as it is a straight shot, he cannot block it. The goalkeeper is also in a more central position, which means that it would be easier for him to parry a curled shot from this distance. That's why the hard straight shot is taken. In the comparison scenario, I run from the left-hand side again, but this time diagonally. I have plenty of time and space, and this time the goalkeeper is relatively high up, leaving the far post free. For this reason, I take a curl shot to use the space to my advantage.
Magnifico gol!
Before I show you how to behave in one-on-ones, which mistakes are made most often, and how to incorporate efficient attacking patterns into your game, I'll briefly touch on the subject of long-range shots. This form of shooting can be useful, especially in combination with the stunning shot function. However, compared to the previously mentioned shots, it is not accurate and takes an incredible amount of time to animate. This means you need too much time and space, which you often don't have. But of course, I don't want to withhold one powerful shot from you, the knock-on shot. This shot has been generated from a distance, but is still extremely powerful at closer range. I have already created a separate tutorial for this shot. Take a look at it, because it is likely that Konami will buff this shot with a later update again. One of the most crucial game-changer situations in game. One-on-ones with the opponent's goalkeeper. As soon as you are in such a situation, it is your duty to score a goal, because you have the big advantage here, not your opponent. And I will now show you how to behave and what points you need to pay attention to in order to guarantee a goal. The first and essential point is to keep an eye on the radar as you receive the ball from the passer, as most camera angles do not allow you to see the entire pitch and therefore the opposing goalkeeper. You have to keep an eye on the map to see whether he is running out or stays back in the goal. This way you are mentally prepared for what is about to happen during the run. The next step is to stay cool and calm. No matter what happens next, you must not get stressed. Because remember, you are the one with the advantage. Your opponent, who only has his goalkeeper left, is the one who is stressed and under pressure. You have the choice. Do you run around him or do you finish? If you want to run around him and trick him, you have to let him get as close to you as possible and then let him off with a feint. You can use the left stick only dribble, unpack a double touch, or pass him with a fake shot. But no matter which method you choose, precise timing is required here. If you want to finish, you must never let the goalkeeper get too close to you, but you must also not shoot too early. A distance of approximately 3 to 8 meters is ideal. From this distance, I recommend that you take the straight shot with a 50% shot power dosage. With your gained knowledge, I want to give you now some specific showcases from a real Division Games environment in which I've noticed significant mistakes from my opponents where they failed to score a goal. In the first scene, my opponent opens up a potential scoring opportunity with a nice pass into my box. However, he gets hectic and tries to finish directly, even though my defender is right in front of him. What he has to do instead is recognize that my Maldini is looking down with his body and thus take advantage of it and turn upwards. Once he has done this, he can finish with a straight shot into the short post and take a direct lead. In the next example, 3 mistakes are made. Mistake number 1. He plays the pass with Mbappe to Neymar as a normal low pass instead of a through pass. This would have allowed him to advance further. Mistake number 2. He presses the shoot button while still receiving the ball first by turning and cannot get any momentum with his leg to kick the ball powerfully. And mistake number 3, he doesn't notice that I've activated my manual goalkeeping and I'm already closing down the far post. With so much space in the opponent's penalty area, you have to take your time and stay calm. If he plays a through pass, watch out for my goalkeeper and shorts into the short corner. This opponent also takes a 1-0 lead. The next clip is very similar. Here too, the opponent acts too hastily and makes the same mistakes. In this scene here, the way the opponent's E2 gets through is very lucky, but that's not the point. At that moment, you have to speculate on his luck If he does, he has to shoot the ball into the short post in this situation. Both curled and straight are possible here. And here, it's obvious that the opponent will choose the wrong corner regardless of my manual goalkeeping. In those situations, shooting into the short corner is a must. I'm going to show you a last mistake before we move on to the final tactical section, because this one is really underestimated. When you see this clip now, what do you think went wrong here? It's not the angle. It's not the dosage, it's not the distance to the goalkeeper. I have done all the points correctly. The mistake lies in the following in-game mechanism. What causes miskicks? The player is more likely to miskick the ball if he tries to kick it while dribbling at speed, or if he kicks the ball before controlling it. Trying to kick the ball towards a direction that is different from where it's facing may also cause miskicks, and this is exactly what happened here. I sprinted too long and my Mbappe lost his accuracy. There are several options to avoid this mistake after a long sprint. Option 1. Correct your angle and create a straight line between ball, body and goal corner. Option 2. Play a pass at the end of such a run. If possible, a normal low pass, because a through pass requires more accuracy and I would only play it if it seems really safe. Number 3. Perform a skill at the end of the run. A double touch works very well, but you can also use other skills such as Marseille turn, drag backs or left stick dribbling to change your angle and reduce the stamina effect.
Played in. Oh, what a ball! No, special! That is a special goal!
You now know everything you need to know to finish successfully. I promised you that this masterclass would be all about scoring goals, but I'm giving you one important topic as a bonus: attacking patterns. If you develop certain patterns in your game, you can break through your opponent's defense time and time again. My game and that of the best players in the world is based on exactly this principle, and I managed to score hundreds of goals every season as a result. Of course, you are now wondering, what means Matt by that? Let me not only tell you my secret, but illustrate it with real in-game examples. Regardless of whether you win the ball back further forward or build up the game, your play from the back, it is essential to form triangles with the attacking players in order to gain a numerous advantage or at least equal numbers in the attack. This method works the best if you involve players who are behind the ball holding player in the attack. So if you have the ball at your feet, don't immediately look forward, don't immediately play forward, but scan the area behind and next to you and pass the ball to the freestanding players. Now comes the next step. In most cases, you play the pass as a 1-2 pass with the cursor change button and the pass button at the same time to trigger the passer to sprint. Now forward the incoming pass to another teammate so that the runner can continue to break forward. The teammate receives the pass and now plays it, preferably as a through pass to the player in the front who can score the freestanding goal. Especially if you have players with player playstyles such as goal poachers, hole players or box-to-box players behind you in the midfield, give them the chance and the time to follow their playstyles and storm forward from the back so that you can use them right there. This is now my final tip, which I'm going to give you how to increase your probability of success to almost 100%. Take a close look at the following scene. I intercept the pass with Mbappe and play a low lofted pass over the defense to Son Heung-min, who is now completely free in front of the goal. Which action would you choose now? A. Short post or B. Long post? Neither of these options. You have to focus on my teammate Nkunku at the top. He is completely free and is running behind the opponent's Roberto Carlos at this moment. Furthermore, the goalkeeper runs out, leaving the top post completely free. These two factors combine to give us an almost 100% goal, as Nkunku simply has to tap in Son's through pass. It sounds simple, but putting the pass across one last time in front of the goal is almost a must and not always easy to identify. You can refine this variation by involving not only the adjoining players but also the players behind you in the opponent's box. In this sequence, you can see how my opponent plays himself free in my box with his Mbappe. It's actually a good position, but he doesn't see his players at the back and tries to cross the ball straight up This ball is of course easy for me to intercept. Instead, he should have played the ball back and then passed it directly to the player above, who could then place the ball with a first-time shot into the far post. This is one of the types of goals I score most often. Here too, it is essential to scan your surroundings, especially what is happening behind you. Hello, Bubu. How are you doing? Bobinho! The player skill first-time shot is also very important in this variant, as most of these balls are converted directly in this attacking pattern. Direct, because you shift the side in the box and the goalkeeper therefore always keeps the long post open, and we don't want to give him a chance to close down the corner by potentially receiving the ball first. If you want me to bring you more eFootball masterclasses like this, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And also let me know in the comments which topic you would like to see from me next as a new masterclass format. I will leave you now with a nice and smooth BAM! Boo boo!